The lips of wisdom are sealed, are closed, except to the ears of understanding. Here I'm holding the Kybalion. Kybalion is a book on Hermetic philosophy, and in my opinion, it is a foundational book on the metaphysical truths of our universe. And when you can understand the 7 Hermetic principles, 1. Mentalism, the all is mind, the universe is mental. 2. Correspondence, as above, so below. 3. Vibration, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. 4. Polarity, all duals are the same, all opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. 5. Rhythm. Life has a constant flow in and out. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. Rhythm compensates. 6. Cause and effect. Every cause has an effect, every effect has a cause. Principle 7. Gender. Everything has its masculine and its feminine principle, because the masculine and feminine are required to come together and to create anything. That last part is mine. But, everything I basically just said to you was a Hermetic axiom that came from the Kybalion. The Kybalion is one of the books. I have here the second one, the Gospel of Thomas. These 2 texts have been the biggest for me in my own metaphysical journey so far. And I teach heavily from both of these 2 texts. Of course, I teach from other things that I've learned myself, but in terms of actual text that I've read, practices that I've been able to embody, things that I've been able to incorporate into my own life, these are the 2 that I've really actually fully gone through. And as I'm going through more, I have there we go, the Corpus Hermeticum. I got that. I got tons of other books on my Kindle. I actually ordered the Tao Te Ching, so that's coming in. I'm getting a physical copy of that. A Course in Miracles, getting a physical copy of that. So I'm really hyped for that. But I was saying that because if you can understand the metaphysical principles, the 7 Hermetic principles, if you can understand the foundational laws behind reality, you will be able to do crazy things. You'll not only be able to improve your mental health and actually live a more fulfilling life, a more happy life. You'll be able to start creating things that you want to create. You'll be able to tap into your unlimited creativity. You are a creator. As images of God, as images of the divine, as reflections of the great creator, we are creators ourselves. And if we're not creating, we're not expressing. If we're not expressing outwardly, we're most likely depressing and we're going inward. But it's a negative inward, which is not good. And so, for me over the past year and a half, as I've been on my personal development journey, my self-improvement journey, my spirituality journey over the past year, it really wasn't until I started getting more into the metaphysical, the esoteric, the occult, especially through the likes of the Kybalion, through the likes of the Gospel of Thomas, through these texts and other, just people on YouTube that have taught me a lot, Aaron Apke, Nero, Mina Irfan, a lot of people who've taught me about spirituality and about metaphysics, the esoteric, the occult. It's formed this Quasi Joe here, also a huge one. That's my guy right there. Quasi's my dude. There have been so many people who've been so foundational in my understanding. And since I started getting in this path in April, man, life has been insane. I've drastically improved my mental health. I've drastically increased my creativity and my productivity. I've drastically improved my quality of life, and I just love life now. I wake up every day excited to get after it, excited to live another day. I'm grateful. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've been lacking on my gratitude prayers and my meditation the past few days, but fuck it, I'll just do it right now. I'll do a gratitude prayer with you guys right now. Always like to start my prayers with a couple grounding breaths. Get centered. God, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to experience another beautiful day in your world, allowing me to experience another beautiful day, to be myself, to love, to know, to experience, to understand you, to understand myself, to understand your world, to serve you, to serve myself, to serve your people, to know love and to grow and to expand and to evolve and to experience life and the beauty that life is. It's just, I'm so I'm just so grateful that I get to love life every day. I get to be in this creative tussle every single day, you know. In The Way of the Superior Man, at the end of there's a blurb at the beginning of every chapter. The first chapter is stop hoping for a completion of anything in life. At the end of that blurb, it talks about how life is about making love to the moment. It's about making love to the present moment while giving your unique gift. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt so embodied in that the past 2 months. I was thinking about this like a couple hours ago. I was like, yo, I've been working hard as fuck the past 2 months, bro. Whether it's grinding on the Digital Alchemist Blueprint, whether that's like my ebook, making that, whether that's doing the podcasts and like the vlogs, doing Road to Renaissance, whether that's doing my newsletter every day, whether that's making coaching offers and figuring out like business stuff, whether that's just creating, whether that's fitness goals and me getting after that in the gym as I've been doing recently. It's been so awesome to just really get the fuck back after it, you know what I mean? And all of that's been because of God. And I can only show my appreciation through service. You know, I can only show it so much, and I just want to keep showing it. And that's exactly why I do the things I do, because I'm so blessed by God's grace, and I want others to feel that way as well. And it wasn't like, it was like, oh, yep, God just took some favor on me. Oh, yep, now Jaden's all graceful. It's like, no, this is a decision that I made. That I decided to turn my heart and my mind back towards God. And I'm just so glad that God was there walking with me. And so I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. Amen. Okay, that was real. But yeah, like I love my gratitude prayers. You know what I mean? I love life, and a lot of basically everything, not everything, but a lot of what's helped me over the past year and a half has been the metaphysics. And so that's why I wanted to start this video out with going on that rant. This video, I'm going to give you guys a bunch more lessons. Basically what I'm going to do, I have all the Road to Renaissance episodes up here. I'm going to be going through each of these, and I'm just going to basically give you the core idea of each episode, which will be the lesson for each video, right? So that'll be cool. So that's what we're going to do. But first, I wanted to read you guys a couple lines from the Kybalion and a teaching or a saying from the Gospel of Thomas as well. So I've recently been rereading the Kybalion. I went through it, read/listened to it the first time throughout July and August this year, and I've been BSing on going back through it, and now I really want to. So I've been hype on it, and I've been doing that today. And so, I just started, and I'm on chapter 1, and I got to page 9, and it's kind of what even inspired like this little intro part. Here's what it said. We use the term Hermetic in the sense of secret, sealed, so that nothing can escape. And this by reason of the fact that the followers of Hermes always observed the principle of secrecy in their teachings. They did not believe in casting pearls before swine, but rather held to the teaching milk for babes, meat for strong men, both of which maxims are familiar to readers of the Christian scriptures, but both of which had been used by the Egyptians for centuries before the Christian era. And so basically in the intro of the Kybalion, I was kind of talking about how ancient Egypt was the center, how Hermes was the founder basically of occultism, and how Hermes' teachings, which were taught in Egypt, because he was the king of Egypt, when he led his Thoth. But basically, Hermes' teachings. What the fuck am I saying? Oh, yeah. The Hermetic teachings. There we go. The Hermetic teachings have influenced all other religions, all other areas of life. And so it kind of just, hit this hint on, milk for babes, meat for strong men in the Christian scriptures. And this is actually exactly why Jesus almost exclusively taught in parables and stories and metaphors. Jesus didn't really outright say anything in the canonical gospels. However, if you read the Gnostic text, like the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus will outright say a bunch of shit in here. Now, granted, there are still just a fuck ton of parables in the Gospel of Thomas, but some things Jesus would be like, yeah. And I'm just like, oh. But here's the thing. Jesus almost exclusively taught in parables because he was trying to approach 3 different types of audiences. He was trying to account for people based on their journey. Are they more in this like materialistic view? Are they more in this like, okay, they're more open, and so they might understand this like metaphorically. They might interpret this parable metaphorically. Or maybe they're more into the esoteric and the mystical, and they can actually perceive this through a more esoteric lens. And so it's like when Jesus would speak these parables, he would address them for, you know, these 3 different groups based on their level of consciousness. It was the people who would interpret it literally, the people who would interpret it metaphorically, and the people who would interpret it esoterically. And so Jesus knew that the things that he taught, you know, Jesus was the greatest mystic, the greatest metaphysical teacher to ever walk. And if you read the Gospel of Thomas, you'll understand why I said that claim. Because the Gospel of Thomas is very clear on the metaphysics. It's like, whoa, this is straight up. It's like, if you can just get behind the parable, it's like, well, obviously Jesus is teaching like non-duality and observation and law of attraction and the mirror principle here. It's like, well, duh. Right? One of my favorite teachings from the Gospel of Thomas is saying 41, where Jesus says, those who possess something will receive more of it, and those who have nothing will be deprived of even the little they have. He said something very similar in the canonical Gospels. I don't remember exactly where or exactly what he said, but basically that teaching teaches observation. What you put your focus or intention on will grow. It teaches the law of attraction, that you can only attract what you have. What you possess, you get more of. And it teaches the mirror principle, that what you currently show the mirror, you attract more of. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like just in that one teaching, Jesus teaches observation, the law of attraction, and the mirror principle. Jesus teaches us that where we put our focus will amplify that. If we put our focus on what we possess, we'll receive more. If we put our focus on what we lack, greater lack will be created in our reality. And so focus amplifies. You know what I mean? Anyways, I wanted to read this saying from the Gospel of Thomas that basically encapsulates what the Hermetics said, that the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. Saying 62 from the Gospel of Thomas says, I reveal my secrets to those who are worthy of my mysteries. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said that he reveals his secrets to those who are worthy of his mysteries. Sounds a lot like the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about, I don't know, what the fuck. I don't know. Road to Renaissance, this show gets wild. So I don't actually know what this video I'm going to be talking about. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about things. Esoteric things, more than likely. I'm going to be talking about other stuff. All I want you to do is have an open mind. Granted, if you're still watching this video 13 minutes in, as I've been rambling about like the esoteric and stuff, then you're probably like my kind of people, which is awesome. Pound that shit, gang. By the way, let me know if you like my yin yang ring. Anyways, I just want you to have an open mind, and especially in open ears, because if you aren't open, you're closed. And if you're not closed, you'll never get the wisdom. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to have an open mind and an open heart at all times. That's the only way we can expand. Alright, let's get into this. So I got my pea hone here. Alright. So, Road to Renaissance vlog number 1 was titled The Pitfall of Self-Improvement. This video was basically about how, or the concept of the pitfall of self-improvement talks about how more often than not, when you get into self-improvement, personal development, whatever, you kind of get into this trap of, like, feeling like you're an even bigger piece of shit than you were when you started. It's like, wait, hold up. I thought I was supposed to get on this path to be better, and now I hate my life more. And so it's like the pitfall of self-improvement is more so stuck in this, like, egoic, dualistic perspective of, I have to improve myself because I am not worthy. Esoteric self-improvement comes in and says, well, here's the thing. You do have to improve yourself, but it's really just about aligning who you are truly with the will of God. I mean, it's really about aligning your current actions with who you are truly, and who you are truly is done by the will of God. And so esoteric self-improvement says that you're not really improving yourself, you're more so aligning back with who you truly are. And that can be seen as improvement, sure, but it can also be seen as like purification, you know what I mean? As like removing the impurities so that what's pure, which is the consciousness, the observer behind it all, the love that encompasses you, that is what is left. And so, I got onto my personal development journey in a more materialistic self-improvement way. And then I started finding these metaphysical and esoteric teachings a lot in April, and that was when I really started feeling like I wasn't a piece of shit anymore. Right? Around like June. June is when I actually started enjoying life. I was basically on self-improvement for a year before I like was genuinely loving life every day. Like genuinely. I had like a season of like, yeah, life was pretty cool last December, but then I fell off. That's the pitfall of self-improvement. And so like, I'll say that the first lesson you should take away here from the pitfall of self-improvement is to not stay stuck in this materialistic perspective. That you have to be something that you're not, that you're currently unworthy, because you are not. Your worth is infinite. You are a fractal of the source. And that means that you hold the potentiality of the infinite inside of you. And if you hold infiniteness inside of you, how could your worth ever be finite? I want you to sit on that one for a second. Vlog number 2. Go outside and talk to someone, LOL. So this one would be a shorter one. Basically, on this day, I was kind of just out walking, and I was at Publix. I went to the bathroom there. And on the way out, there was this guy behind me, and he saw my book bag. I'll show you guys real quick. Saw my book bag, and it says Ghost Town here on the top. And so he was like, yo, Ghost Town, and he thought it was like this attraction place that he actually went to like 15 years ago with his son. He was an older like white guy, super southern white guy, real American man. Right, so he's probably, I imagine, in his 50s. He had like a longish gray beard, trucker hat, you know what I mean? But he was a super awesome, like super polite guy. And he starts, kind of going into the story. And a couple, like 20 seconds later, he's like, oh man, you're probably thinking, oh, this old guy is like, bothering me or whatever the fuck. I'm like, oh, nah, man, I'm here for it. Like, put me on, you know what I mean? I'm always here for a story, man. And he was kind of just telling me how him, his son, and his father, right? So his son's grandfather, they all went to this place called Ghost Town, which was in North Carolina. And basically, after they leave, right, it was kind of like this like gun show, like attraction place, you know what I mean, pretty girls, like bars, stuff like that, you know what I mean, like car shows, stuff like this, you know what I mean. And so they leave, and his father, right, is asking his son's name is I think his son's name was Mitchell. He asks his Mitchell's grandfather asked him, he's like, yo, Mitchell, what was your favorite part of Ghost Town, right? And Mitchell tells him, he's like, oh man, the gun show and the pretty girls. And so basically in that moment, like the dad, he was like, oh man, that's my son right there. And as this guy telling me that story, I'm like, wow, that's a real American man right there. And that was just so funny, bro. I feel like that was so hilarious. And that was the first time I like had a like interaction with a stranger where we like exchanged a story. And that was like such a big moment for me. And I was kind of contemplating on that, for like the next hour or so. And I ended up going to Panera. Did I go to Panera to use the bathroom again? I think I did. I think I went to change my clothes. I think it was too hot that day. Like I had like some pants on, so I wanted to take the pants off. Actually, it was raining that day. And so I wanted to take the pants off because I was hot. But I wanted to put my hoodie back on because it was starting to rain. That's what it was. So, went to Panera Bread, and I actually saw this like super beautiful woman there. And she had this like super dope like pink sweater. And her hair color was actually the exact same color. So I just thought she was looking mad cute, mad fire, right? It was just dope. And so I thought about actually going up to her in that moment. But I just wanted to go to the bathroom. So I just went to the bathroom. And then after I left the bathroom, She was actually like sitting with her mom, and she was honestly in the middle of eating. But I was like, hey, I'm sorry, excuse me to I mean, fuck. I just went up to her and I was like, hey, sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say that I really love your hair. It's very beautiful. And she just said, oh wow, thank you, I appreciate it. And that was it. I just fucking left. You know what I mean? And that was all it was. I just went up to her and I gave her the compliment. And basically since that day, I've kind of had this social challenge of like complimenting strangers when I'm outside. And I've like stuck true to that. I mean, I basically just be. I think it was in the gym vlog. I was like, yeah, I be shooting these things off the hip now. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll just like see like I think yesterday when I was walking, I see somebody this guy had this like super dope hat, and I was just like, hey bro, I like your hat. He's just like, yeah, appreciate it, bro. Simple. You know what I mean? It's like I said, shoot him off the hip. It's very easy. So like I feel like lesson 2 is really like the aspect of like the importance of being willing to like have the conversation with a stranger. This is actually inspired by me, rather. There you go. I was actually inspired to do this because the day before I was watching a YouTube video and it just popped up on my feed, and it was basically about being social. And the guy had kind of told the story of how he had randomly talked to this stranger one time who he thought he would never interact with, right? But he just randomly just started having this conversation with him. 3 years later, the dude's his best friend. It's like, it's like, yeah, bro. It's like, bro, go talk to strangers, okay? And I'll push you one further. Go compliment a stranger. If you want some esoteric, if you want an esoteric reason to compliment people, complimenting people demonstrates your abundance. So here's another lesson real quick. So I mentioned my favorite teaching from the Gospel of Thomas earlier. Those who possess something will receive more of it, and those who have nothing will be deprived of even the little they have. That teaching teaches the mirror principle, that what we have, we create more of, amplifies, we attract more of. Okay, cool. So how do we show the mirror what we possess? How do we demonstrate to the mirror that we possess something so we can receive more of it? Well, it's actually quite simple. You give it. Because by giving something, you demonstrate that you have it. Right? I couldn't give away money that I didn't have, right? It's like if you asked me for $100 and I only had $20, I'd be like, sorry, I don't got it, gang. You know what I mean? You can only give something that you have. Giving is a demonstration of possession. However, you can't give with this like lack mentality or this like zero-sum mentality. If you give and you believe that you're losing so that someone else can win, you're cooked. That's lack. That's scarcity. You're in a like a lack paradigm. That's no bueno. That will not create more abundance. That will create more lack. However, if you give with this mentality of when I give, it's good for me and the other person, I feel good about giving. The giving is the reward. The fact that I get to help people, that feels good to me. The fact that they receive something from me, they also get something. We're both up in this interaction of me giving. You see what I'm saying? We're both winning here. When that's your mentality, you're in an abundance mindset of giving, bro, you're golden. When you can give from a place of abundance, you demonstrate your abundance. And so if you want to attract more of it, you demonstrate so the mirror can reflect it to you. Awesome. Lesson number 3 from vlog number 3. Vlog number 3 is titled Life. Yeah.
Got a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
Cause my sister online, she just wanted to say hi.
Okay, just got a little interruption. So basically, vlog number 3 is titled Life is Gonna Smack You Down. Will you get back up? And so, I don't actually remember what the story was behind this video. But I mean, the title kind of says it there. It's like, the thing is, life is not all ups. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't even be watching this video if you didn't already know that. Right? Life gets hard. Shit gets real. Like, straight up, right? But the thing is, it's like, the difference between winners and losers is that losers believe that failing is failure. And winners know that failing is feedback. That's the only difference. The only difference is that losers let failing stop them, and that winners learn from failing. Yo, actually, yesterday, when me and the fam went to see Moana 2 for my birthday, technically today's my birthday, right? But we went to do some family stuff yesterday because my dad's working today. But in it, one of the characters who was on Moana's crew, she's kind of like a scientist, the creator, the architect, the builder, and she said that perfection is a myth, right? There's only trying, learning, and death. That's it. There's only experimentation, learning, and then death. That's it. There's no such thing as like true perfect. There's always actualization. There's always, that little bit more to tap into. Right? I mean, that's kind of what the nature of the infinite is. If it was finite, it would end, but it's not, and so it never ends. There's always growth to happen. There's always evolution to occur, and I feel like that's just a perfect representation of any skill set, any path, any development, any spiritual journey, any evolution, any growth, whatever, any endeavor. It's like all of these things are paths, and it's like, are you going to stay on the path when life wants to smack you the fuck off it? Are you going to get back on? Are you going to readjust? Lesson number 4. Vlog number 4 is titled 3 Mindsets That Helped Me Post for 101 Days Straight. I don't remember all of them, but here in the thumbnail, I have like a, me showing how I like used to get ahead. So I'll actually talk about that one. Here, that's actually a very good lesson. So this is talking about having an abundance mindset with your content creation. So it's like having content overflow through scheduling content. And so it's basically about the idea is that if you're posting, so like for me, example, right? I'm posting daily newsletters, right? Okay, awesome. Let's say I wanted to get ahead. So I'd want to create 2 newsletters today so I could have today's newsletter and tomorrow's newsletter, right? So let's say today is Monday, right? And so on Monday, I write 2 newsletters for Monday and for Tuesday. Awesome. That means on Tuesday's work is already done. Awesome. And that means that I either don't have to write or I can keep getting ahead. And so what I do is I make another letter or I make another 2. And so I have Wednesday, maybe even Thursday's letters covered by Tuesday. And so in 2 days of work, I've created 4 days of content. You see what I'm saying? And so if you can just keep this pace up, even if you don't do double the amount of volume every day, this allows you to stay in this like mentality of like, okay, I'm already ahead. Today's content is already created, so it allows you to create from a place of detachment. Since you don't need to create for the day, you're creating for the next day. And that was something that I realized was actually a big reason to why I felt so like in abundance mindset, and like I felt like I was embodying such an abundance like state of being back in June and July, because I was constantly recording 2-3 videos a day, and I was scheduling videos ahead. And I realized that recently, like with Road to Renaissance, that really just hasn't really been possible because I make, edit, and upload the video on the same day. And so that's definitely a reason to why I haven't really enjoyed the Road to Renaissance process as much, at least for like daily stuff. But shifting out of doing Road to Renaissance daily and doing it probably like 2-3 times a week is going to be the goal. I'm excited for that because I can still make the vlogs in one day, but I can have it scheduled for tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? And so it feels way better. And so having that like content schedule really allows you to cultivate an abundance mindset as a creator. So lesson number 4, there you go. Vlog number 5 is titled, For the Spiritually Inclined Multi-Creatives, Don't Focus on One Thing. So this lesson is basically talking about how if you're a multi-creative, if you're a polymath, if you're someone who isn't single-minded and doesn't like to... Yeah, actually, I'll say this now because this is probably foundational for the things I'll say in the rest of this video. The hunter versus the farmer archetype. So certain people are farmers. Certain people have this one thing that they want to show up for on a certain, at a certain time over a certain period of time, right? They show up on this day and clock this amount of work, boom, 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 for like 20 years. Cool, awesome. That can be great for certain people. For others, like me, that would drive us freaking nuts. So, for us, we want more spontaneity in life. We want more novelty in life, right? We want to pursue multiple interests. We want to pursue multiple passions. And so, instead of focusing on becoming the best of the best in one thing, we can just actually still get pretty good at a lot of things. And we can actually still become really elite at a handful of things while still being really good at other things. You know what I mean? Like, I want to genuinely be elite at business, at art, at like metaphysics. And then when it comes to like other things, like here's what I'll say actually. I want to be elite at writing, at storytelling, and like teaching metaphysics. I want to be good at filmmaking, at painting, at illustration, at being like an athlete. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I want to be an elite athlete. I want to be an elite endurance athlete. But I'm cool at being just like a good like strength athlete, like resistance trainer. And so like there are certain things that like I feel called to be elite at. There are certain things that I feel called to just be like good at. There are certain things I don't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? It's like you told me to be like, yo Jaden, like, yo, go like become a soldier or something. I go say fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like, what? You crazy? Anyways. And so like the main idea, the main lesson for this video, vlog number 5, was very simple one actually. The uniqueness and novelty that comes from overlapping your unique interests and passions can only come from you. Your perspective is uniquely yours. Yeah, that's it. Simple. Because of your synthesis of interest, because of your personality, that creates a unique, I was going to say authentic, but it creates a unique personal brand. And if people resonate with those things, then they resonate with you. And so if you're a multi-creative, if you're a polymath, you should not limit yourself. You should not. You should do the opposite. And that's what this channel is here to help you do. I like to say I'm here to make sure you're out of the box. I'm here to make sure you're not in the box, not to put you back into one. Vlog number 6 is titled, You're Not Lazy, You're Unrealistic. And it was titled How I Make Progress with Just 15 Minutes Per Day. Because that's genuinely all it takes. You know, the main title or the main lesson of this video was talking about how your goals or your challenge may just be too fucking high for your skill level. Like, honestly, you probably just need to drop your fucking ego and lower the bar. Like, just lower the fucking bar. Make the challenge lower. You're not lazy. You're just taking on an unrealistic challenge, so you're not taking any fucking action. That's the issue. Here's a metaphor I'll give you, or an analogy I'll give you that will really make this example clear. Imagine you're like an elite MMA fighter, right? You've been fucking training hard for 12 years, bro. All you do, eat, sleep, train, like, and beat people up. That's it, right? And one day you're like, you know, you just beat up a few guys in the ring, and you're still going, you want to like spar somebody else, but the only person that's there is available, right, that you haven't sparred yet is this like super scrawny guy who's like hitting the bag and can't even throw a punch correctly. Right, and so you look at this guy, you're like, ah, man, I'm not even going to fight this guy. Like, that would be pointless. Like, I would beat the fuck up on this dude, but it would be boring. It wouldn't even be fun. Like, it'd be unchallenging. What's the point? And so you wouldn't want to do it, obviously. Unless you're just like an egotistical maniac. And then that's different. On the flip, imagine you were the newbie, right? And you had to, 2 weeks in, you don't even know how to throw a punch. You got to spar this dude whose life has been training for the last decade. It's like, what the excuse me? The fuck? Are you fucking, like, what are you smoking? You know what I mean? Like, I'm good off that. And so, it's like, okay. You wouldn't take action because there's too much anxiety. So, if your skill level is too high and your challenge is too low, like the fighter, you don't take action because you're bored. If your skill level is too low and your challenge is too high, like the newbie, you don't take action because it's too anxiety-inducing. It's terrifying. You don't even know what the fuck to do. And so if you're not taking action, it's simply because you're just not aligned with flow state. That's it. Your challenge is either too high or too low. What you need is a challenge that is equal to your skill level or just having one slightly exceed the other. That's fine. We need to be in the flow state. If you're not taking action, it's because you're not in the flow state. It's really that simple. For me, you know, the other day when I was at the gym, if you guys saw my first POV gym vlog, I started up on just doing, you know, easy walk. That's it. And eventually, you know, I was talking about this in the vlog. I was like, every time I got out of the flow state, right, I started getting two in my head. thoughts started popping into my mind. I wasn't one with the run. I wasn't one with the task. I just increased the challenge. Incline up, speed up. That's it. I increased the challenge. And then I immediately got back into flow state. Simple. Bro, you're not lazy, you're just unrealistic. And so if you can get into flow state, bro, you can take action. It really is that simple, honestly. Vlog number 7. I posted 273 videos and 70 newsletters in 7 months. And that was kind of just talking about how I've been able to work, right? How I've been super consistent over the past 7 months of creating. And the core principle behind this is volume negates luck. That's from Hormozi. Volume negates luck. How can you make it unreasonable for you to not win? Recently, I've wanted to improve my storytelling skills. And so what did I do? I decided that I was going to write a newsletter every day with a story, and I was going to tell stories in all the videos I posted every single day. And that's what I did. And over the past month, I've improved a lot at storytelling, and now I can't not tell stories. It's that simple. Volume negates luck. How do I make it unreasonable for me to not win? Simple. Vlog number 8. 15 minutes a day is better than 0 minutes a day. Why I do the bare minimum. I mean, honestly, that one is really that simple. It's like, bro, would you rather make 0 progress or would you rather make a little progress? Like, this is honestly kind of similar to vlog number 6. It's like, bro, just drop your fucking ego and make the progress that you can make. You know what I mean? It's like, if you genuinely can't take action for an hour or 30 minutes, that's fine. I couldn't do that shit for like a year ago either. I couldn't. So I get it. So just start with fucking 15 minutes. Just start with 5, bro. Just start. Start anywhere. Just stop bullshitting. Please. Fuck me, bro. Like, I'm begging you to stop bullshitting, bro. Like, I need you to fucking take action. I need you to do this, bro. You don't understand. I didn't take action for months and I stayed suffering from December to May. December 2023 to May 2024, I stayed suffering. I wasn't taking action on the things I knew. I wasn't developing myself how I knew. I wasn't taking action. I wasn't improving my mental health. I wasn't increasing my productivity. I wasn't creating. I wasn't living a fulfilled life. Because I just wasn't willing to do the fucking bare minimum. My fucking pride was too high. Oh, it's not enough. Fuck you, Jaden. You weren't doing shit. What do you mean it's not enough? What are we talking about right now, bro? Bro, please, like, I've been trying to drill this down into like my email list my newsletter followers over the past month. Bro, please stop making your goals optional. Please stop making progress optional. This shit should be a requirement. You should not be able to go to bed at night feeling like you deserve to sleep if you didn't check off the box for the day. Like, I'm so fucking dead ass right now, bro. I'm so dead ass right now. There were days where I didn't actually get Road to Renaissance up like on the day it was supposed to be up. It was up at like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Fuck it though. I still went to bed fulfilled that night. You know why? Because I checked the box before I went my ass to sleep. Bro, you can make progress. You're just not willing to because you're being a bitch. Stop. Alright. I'm sorry because I really had to like talk to my former self right there. Like, I had to get real with you guys. Like, I don't, you know, sometimes I call you guys a pussy, you know, sometimes I'll be real. I'll keep it a buck. Because you are. Let me stop. Sometimes you do act like a pussy. Sometimes you do act like a bitch. And so, you know, you gotta accept that. You gotta admit that. So you can stop. Acceptance is the first step, you know what I mean? And so it's like, bro, I've been there, and so I just had to like really go hard on my past self there. So if that got too real, sorry, not sorry. Alright. Vlog number 9. For those with multiple interests but don't know where to start. It'd be like that. And so the concept behind this was kind of like picking 3. Actually, no, I'll say this. Goals versus interests. So as multi-passionate people, as people with multiple interests, we want to pursue things, right? So for me, for example, I picked up an etymology book. Etymology is not a goal. I don't have a goal to be a fucking language arts teacher and to be teaching motherfuckers the dictation of words. I don't give a fuck about this shit. Or about that, you know what I mean? But I do really love etymology. I love language, and as a writer, I'd love to understand Latin and Greek words more, especially because a lot of these more esoteric, sacred spirituality texts, like older ones, ancient texts, they can be interpreted so differently if you actually understand the Latin and Greek derivatives of these words. And so I got a book on etymology because it's an interest of mine. But I don't have a goal to be like a fucking master etymologist or some shit. Like, no. But you know what I do have a goal in? To run a marathon. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, I have goals. Let's say, right now I have, I actually need to redefine my goals. So you know what? We're not going to talk about those right now. But in terms of goals versus interests, goals are basically the things that you genuinely want to make progress in every day. Even if it's not every day, but you genuinely want to make progress in. It's like if you're not making progress in this thing, life starts to feel bad. Like if I'm not making progress in content, life starts to feel bad. I'm not going to lie. Like if I'm not posting videos or writing, it's like, what? Like, why the fuck are you being a bum, Jaden? Like, do something with your life. You know what I mean? Yesterday on Substack, I posted a note, and it said, I can guarantee that the more stuff you make, the more you like life, the more you'll love life, or something like that. It's that simple. Bro, make more stuff, like, for real. And so it's like, if you have multiple interests, and even like goals, pursuits, things you actually genuinely care about making progress in, here's how I'm going to help you try to like separate these things. So I want you to only have 3 things you're actively trying to make progress in. So for me, I'm actively really only trying to make progress in fitness, business, and art. That's really it, honestly. I'm not going to lie. It's like, although I'm very interested in learning more about, like esotericism and metaphysics, I already have such a foundational understanding and such a like esoteric, non-dual, law of one lens that I perceive the world through, that it's like if I never read another spiritual book ever, I think I'd actually just be fine. You know what I mean? But I want to read more spiritual books because I just like them. I love them. They're interesting. They're cool. I want to learn more. You know what I mean? I want to understand things deeper. And so it's like I don't have a goal to read these like spirituality texts, but they're very intriguing to me. So I have these interests. And so you basically have goals. You have things that are like, yo, I want to make progress in, and if I don't make progress in, like, life starts to not feel good. Not gonna lie. And then you have your interests. And these things are just, oh yeah, this is mad cool. I love pursuing this. I love learning about this. But it's like, if this thing doesn't come into my awareness for like a week or two, it's like, oh yeah, it's fine. But if I deep dive into this thing for 2 weeks straight, it's like, oh yeah, that's lit. You know what I mean? It can go either way with an interest. And so I want you to understand that you have goals or pursuits that you genuinely want to make progress in, and then you have interests. And what you should be doing is you should be prioritizing your goals, obviously. And so what you should be doing is you should be aligning your life and the input that you take every day with the goals that you want to take. And then in rest time or in play time, that is when your interests come. And so it's like, I believe that you should be aligning your work tasks with your goals and your progress. It should be aligning your rest and your play tasks with your interests. That's what I do. And that's what I feel like has allowed me to cultivate a more holistic and polymath perspective that I love, while still being able to make progress in the things that I want to make progress in. Obviously, I haven't been able to make crazy progress in like most of these fronts just because I've still just been getting the ball rolling a lot over the past month. But in terms of like making progress on YouTube and Substack, yeah, for sure. I've definitely made progress. Bro, I've been actively engaging on Substack for 2 weeks, and I've gained 14 subscribers. Like, I've literally averaged a sub a day, only engaging 10 to 20 minutes a day. It's like, bro, what the fuck? It's crazy, bro. So, have your goals, show up for those, make sure you do those every day. I don't give a fuck when you do those during the day. I just want them to get done. All right? And don't go to bed if them shits ain't done. And then when it comes to your interests, it's like, yeah, pursue those when the curiosity comes. Simple. All right, let me change my battery real quick. This thing's about to die. Vlog number 10 is titled, So You're a Spiritually Inclined Multi-Creative Who Isn't Creating. And so this video is talking about kind of like getting over the perfectionist mindset and really just getting in love with creating again and enjoying that. I feel like the main lesson behind that video is mainly just, honestly, start where you can. Here's a practice I'll give you, right? Because obviously I can say that, like, detaching from the outcome is, you know, all you have to do, but that's way easier said than done, right? So here's a practice you can do to practically detach from the outcome of what you create. I want you to create something. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a story, maybe it's a painting, whatever the fuck. I want you to make that thing with the intention to delete it, throw it out, rip it up, make sure that no one ever sees it again. Hell, you can burn it if you want. I don't give a fuck. All I want you to do is go into the process of creating without any expectation of anyone even seeing the final outcome. It's like, if no one else will ever see the final outcome, how can they judge it? And that's what that's what you're really worried about, right? You're worried about other people judging you. Or are you judging you? Oh, that's a different story. You know, I made another Substack note the other day talking about how if you don't love your art, you don't love yourself. Think about that one. It's the truth. Your creations are an expression of you. They're an extension of you. And so if you don't love your creations, you don't love yourself. That's a problem, G. That's a problem. And so it's like tapping into your authenticity, who you truly are. And then just starting small. That's how you're going to start taking action. If you want more help in doing that, you should check out the Digital Alchemist Blueprint. Third link in description. Completely free. Vlog number 11. Daily posting got me from 69 to 1,000 subscribers in 79 days. So I believe this was another video kind of talking about how volume negates luck. But there was another principle in terms of showing up every day, and how showing up every day really allows you to create a fuck ton of value that allows you to receive that value back. You know what I mean? It's like the law of reciprocity, the law of giving and receiving, the law of karma. All things you give out must come back to you. And so it's like, if you put out a fuck ton of value, a fuck ton of volume, eventually that shit's gonna come back. That's what I've been doing Road to Renaissance. That's what I've been doing my newsletter. It's like, I know that I'm giving value to my people. I wouldn't have 50, 60 people who tap into my content every day between my YouTube channel, between my newsletter, and between my podcast downloads. I get like 50 to 60 like views per day. Like every single day, I get like 50 people who tap into my stuff. Like, that's fucking sick, bro. Like, that's genuine influence. You think those people would be tapping in if I wasn't impacting them, if I wasn't giving them value? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm giving all of those people value. And of course, I'm an entrepreneur. I have paid products I'm selling. I have a paid newsletter. I have a one-to-one coaching program. Have I gotten any sales in those yet? Nope. Am I tripping? Nope. Because I know it's gonna come. Vlog number 12 is titled, Let Your Jealousy and Fear Guide You. Why I'm running a marathon in 2025. And so the core lesson was basically that your jealousy and your fear are actually showing you where you're misaligned. If you're jealous or envious of somebody, it's most likely because they're doing something that you want to be doing. It's something that actually is aligned with your path, but you're not actualizing. if you fear something, it's most likely that you see the challenge up ahead, you see the potential for growth, you see the opportunity. However, you also perceive the challenge and the pain and the discomfort and the suffering. And so your ego is like, I don't think so. And it starts getting scared and running away and not taking action. And so jealousy and envy shows you, oh, okay, this is something I actually am supposed to be doing. Fear shows you, oh man, I'm scared of doing this, which means I actually should be doing it, because it's really just me being scared of the suffering that is required for the growth. You see what I'm saying? And so when you get envious of, like for me, I was starting to see, like I saw Captain Sinbad running, like doing his marathon prep. I've been following his triathlon training and stuff like that. And every time I've seen it, I'd be like, it'd be so cool. Like I saw Casey's video, do hard things or whatever, when he finally run the sub 3 hour marathon. That was sick, bro. You know what I mean? And seeing him do that, I was like, yo, this is sick, bro. Like, what? I want to do that I'm so envious, bro. You know what I mean? That's how it was. And then I think about running a marathon, I'd be like, ooh, that's terrifying. Fuck. And I wouldn't take action, right? And this is why I didn't take action over the last year. I swear to God, I was thinking about running a marathon a year ago. I promise you I was. But I was being too much of a pussy. Simple. And so instead of letting your jealousy and fear push you away from things, let them guide you towards alignment. Vlog number 13 is titled, Stop Setting Unrealistic Goals as a Beginner. I think this video is how to actually, how I guarantee progress. So this is my goal setting process, basically. And I kind of just walk you through, like, why you need to be focused on input-based goals, right? And so I kind of talk about this, actually, I don't talk about that in this video. I talked about this more recently, like in a call I had with my dog Jake, but stop setting unrealistic goals as a beginner is kind of like when I was talking to you guys about earlier in terms of lowering the bar, not having a challenge that's too high. It's like, bro, if you're not taking action, it's most likely because your challenge is just too hard. And so how about you just lower the bar? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're not taking action, it's because your perception of the goal is like, oh, I can't even, like, I'm not even capable of doing this, and so what's the point of taking action? Right? It's so far out of reach, so you don't move. But if something was closer in reach, even if it's still, a decent way away, but you know it's possible, you actually start moving towards that. Very simple, bro. All right. Vlog number 14. Let's go. This is my favorite vlog, favorite video, my favorite, like, creation of all time. So far. It's titled, If the Work Isn't Optional, It Gets Done. And I mean, it really is that simple. And it's like this, it's this mentality of your goal should not be optional. Your progress should not be something that you could do. No. Like, what are we saying right now? What? How is your highest actualization? How is the fulfillment of your divine purpose on the fucking back burner? What are we talking about right now? That's insanity to me. I'm not gonna lie. And so it's like, bro, if you have a mission, if you have a goal you want to pursue, if you have something that you know you need to be getting after, and you're not getting after it, honestly, bro, like, I don't even know what the fuck to say to you. I'm not gonna lie. That's just kind of crazy, bro. And so, like, for me, I've kind of been, over and over the past couple weeks, going back into this mentality of, like, if the work isn't optional, it gets done. And I've kind of had that mentality with Road to Renaissance. There have been days where I didn't want to post Road to Renaissance, or days where I slipped up and I didn't get it out by, like, 12. I got it out, or I didn't get it out before 12, and it was out at, like, 1 or 2 a.m., whatever. Work still got done, though, right? It was still up. Still made it happen, bro. It's like, dude, if progress, if growth is optional to you, honestly, I want you to stop watching this video right now and, like, never watch my channel ever again. Honestly, like, I'm so dead ass right now, Because I don't want any fucking pussies here. I'm just gonna be so for real. I don't want pussies. It's like, bro, if you're not genuinely trying to take action and like make things that you want in your life a reality, you have none of my respect. None. You don't even respect yourself. Why the fuck would I respect you? You don't respect yourself or your goals. Simple. If the work isn't optional, it gets done. Stop making your progress optional. Stop making the work optional. The work works on you more than you work on it. So why the fuck are you scared of the work? You want to be better, right? So get the fuck to work. If you want a metaphysical perspective on work, I got you. So the physical, different, like physics. The physics definition of work is creating change. We can actually work with this. We just take this one step higher. Well, we create change in the world, right? That's what the physical definition of work is, like pushing or pulling something. Like this, I'm doing work right now, right? This is physical work. Okay, awesome. So how do we get metaphysical? I mean, it's very simple. What is the world comprised of? One thing, consciousness. All of the world is pure consciousness. And so, since the world is consciousness or mind, all of it can be manipulated. And so really, work, whether that's on the physical level or the mental level or the spiritual level, right? It's all consciousness. Work is merely just about creating change in consciousness. And so whether that's inner work and you're changing your inner world, you're changing your emotions, your emotionally charged thoughts, you're changing your attention, you're changing your identity and your paradigm. Whether that's the inner work of the mental and the spiritual planes, or that's the outer work, you're doing the actions in the external plane. Whatever it is, you're creating change. And so if you want to change your life, there's only one thing you can do. Work. You see what I'm saying? And so you need to create. Actually, I'll read you this yesterday. This is a super dope concept that I got from Dan. Actually, it'd be better if I read it from my newsletter. This is a super dope concept I got from Dan Coe yesterday, and I really love this. So he was comparing mental training to physical training. Okay, so most people just eat, which is like consuming, right? Consuming content, let's say, which is the acquirement of physical or mental fat. That's it. So most people just eat and they just get fat. Some people consistently walk or do cardio, clearing the mind, cutting down the fat, which is note-taking or journaling or organizing ideas, right? This cuts down on fat and helps them stay lean. This helps your mind stay clear. Okay, awesome, right? Note-taking, journaling, brain dumps, and organizing ideas are all great, but it's not all there is. Walking and cardio can help you cut fat or stay lean, but it'll never build you any muscle. It's a fucking fact. You need resistance training to build muscle. Creating is mental and spiritual resistance training. It expands your heart and sharpens your mind. It expands your heart and sharpens your mind. And so don't just do cardio. Be a hybrid athlete. If you want to develop as a creator, there's only one thing you can do. You need to fucking make something. Yeah, I mean, like, literally. You have to fucking make something, bro. And so it's like, bro. Actually, this goes perfectly into vlog number 15. So let's just do that, because this is a great segment. A segue, rather. Vlog number 15 is titled, You Have to Create. It's not optional. Simple. And so I was talking about how you have to create, right? How creating or work is mental training. It's about making your mind stronger. It's about making your ability to do work stronger. Your ability to create change increases the more you work. Okay, awesome. Creating isn't optional, right? You have to create. I want you to think about this. God is the infinite creator. Do you think God can't create? Like, I want you to think about this. What if I just tried to get God to, like, stop creating? I'd be like crazy, right? It's like, what? God is the infinite creator. How could God ever stop creating? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, awesome. Let's roll with that. God is the infinite creator. We are made in the image of God. Doesn't that mean we are infinite creators as well? Granted, we have the limitations of space-time, right? And so, when it comes to the physicality, we do have limitations. However, our thinking, our creativity, which is not bound by the physical plane, which is above the 3D, it's above space-time, that is eternal. That is limitless. That is infinite. And so, if you're not infinitely creating, infinitely expressing yourself, you're not aligned with your true nature. And any misalignment with your true nature is felt. I can guarantee that one. Your emotions are always guiding you. They're always a signal that you're living in alignment. When you feel positive emotions, happy and fulfilled and peace and bliss and joy and love and laughter, that's a sign that you're living in alignment. But when you feel negative emotions like fear and judgment and worry and stress and anxiety, anger, that is a sign that you're misaligned with your authentic nature. And so you have to be able to recognize your emotions as a guidance system, the emotional guidance system. Your emotions are showing you the way. And so if you're not creating, I can almost guarantee that you hate your life because you're misaligned with your true nature. And so you have to create. It's literally not optional. You have to. I don't care what it is. Write a short story. Fucking draw a comic book. Record a podcast. Sing a song. I don't care. Literally, I don't give a fuck. Honestly. I just need you to do it. I don't care what it is. I just need you to do it. Vlog number 16. Artist versus entrepreneur. How identity influences productivity. So, this was kind of like a segment from a call I had with my dog Jake, which is like a podcast, Actualizers episode 7. But we were talking about Jake's journey in terms of like him taking action and how he wasn't, it was very like, Jake wanted to pursue e-com and like make money in e-com, right? But e-com was really just a vehicle to make money so that he could really get to the stuff he wanted to do, which was filmmaking and having his own car shop and stuff like that. Really content and cars and fitness as well. So really personal branding stuff, right? Jake's an artist. And when he was first getting into YouTube, he actually started by posting 2 videos a day for 100 days. Crazy. Right, I posted 1 video a day for 100 days. This motherfucker posted 2 videos a day for 100 days. Fucking lunatic, bro. But after that, he like leveled up his videos, right? Those were all like just like raw talking head videos. But after that, he started adding like angles, different cameras. He started adding music. The shot started getting like way more cinematic, some color grade. It was just a super dope. And he also the message, the ideas were better because he was writing a lot, right? And so he was, had like writing that he could riff off of, stuff like that. Yo, I got a smudge on my book. That's crazy. Damn. Fuck. Anyways, but that was Jake's process, and he was talking about how he was so in love with that process and how he was playing, and how it felt like play, or like the work felt like play, but he was playing too much. He wasn't actually doing any of the e-com work, which is like the hard work, the real work. And it kind of just got me thinking. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, Jake. I don't think you should identify with the entrepreneur identity. I think you should more closely identify with the artist. Granted, you most likely have to have both, right? As creators, right, especially as like people who want to make money online doing something creative, then you have the artist and the entrepreneur both inside of you. But it's like, which one do you more identify with? And I'll give you this way of thinking to kind of identify it. It's like, are you creating to fuel your business, right? Or do you have a business to fuel your creating? You see what I'm saying here? So the first one is, are you creating to fuel your business? So that's like making content, marketing for the sense of marketing your product for business. So like the point is build personal brand for business. That's the first one. That's the entrepreneur paradigm, the entrepreneur identity. The second one, the artist identity, is I'm doing this business, making this money, so I can make more stuff because that's really what I want to do. You see how that's a completely different goal? That's a completely different mindset? It's a completely different, like, motivation. And so it's like, is the content, is the creating for the business, or is the business for the creating? Is the business for the art? Which one is supplementing the other? And for me, I realized, I was like, yeah, I'm actually less in the entrepreneur identity and more in the artist identity. And so that's recently why I've went on this like challenge of like cultivating my vlogging and filmmaking skills and writing skills and storytelling skills through Road to Renaissance, through Jaden's Curiosity Chronicles, with this daily series I've done the past 3 weeks, with the daily vlog, and the past month I've done with my daily newsletters. And so I've been cultivating these skills as an artist. And the thing is, like, if you're a better artist, then you just make more money. Right? As a better artist, I'll naturally be a better entrepreneur as well. Or at least I'll make more money because I'll have better skills to monetize. So that's like the artist versus entrepreneur identity. And after, you know, I said that to Jake, he was like, oh man, you know, I'm not going to lie, bro. I think I do actually resonate more with the artist. Because, you know, it's like, if we're just looking purely at what Jake has done over the last, like, year, right? He said he's been, like, looking into ecom over the last year. He was never, like, really consistent with taking any action on it, though. But he did get consistent with taking action on YouTube and with creating, and so it's like, okay, let's look at the data here. You did this. You didn't do the other thing. And so it's like, why want to do this thing when you could just do this thing and you can still get to the money either way? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? It's like, if the point was the money and to develop the skills, it's like you can do that in literally any business model. It's like, there's nothing special about ecom in terms of like making money and increasing your productivity, increasing your ability to work hard. It's like you have to work hard and you make money in every business. That's how it works. In every business, you have to work hard, and in every business, you most likely make money. That's the point of the business. That's not the point of the business, but that's a byproduct of the business. The point of the business should be to provide value to your customers. After you do that, you get money. You see what I'm saying? Money is the effect, not the cause. Anyways, that, you know, story of the artist versus entrepreneur identity, I feel like that can really help you in terms of like, should I focus like guys, I want you to make money. I want you to make money online, period. And so like, more than likely you'll have to be an entrepreneur. You'll have to sell your own product. That's fine. Selling your own stuff is awesome. Even if that's just like selling more content. Maybe you want to sell like a paid newsletter. Maybe you want to sell a Patreon to sell like exclusive content. Maybe you want to have maybe you want to like sell music. Or films or something. I don't know. Exclusive. I don't know which ones. It doesn't matter. But you can just sell exclusive content, and people would actually buy that. Like, genuine fans of yours would buy exclusive content. But first, they have to become genuine fans of yours. And how do you do that? You build a fucking audience. So, when it comes to building your audience on YouTube or, you know, anywhere really as a creator, it's like, which identity do you identify with? Because that will propel your productivity. So do some introspecting on that one. I imagine that most people watching this are probably more with the artist identity, but if you resonate with more with the entrepreneur identity, that's fine. Maybe you're really in the middle. If so, it's okay. You probably just have to address them in the season, you know, in the constraint. Okie doke. Vlog number 20, or vlog number 17. How metaphysics 10x'd my mental health in 8 months. So, in this video, I kind of just laid down what So, esoteric self-improvement has 3 philosophical pillars. One of them is lifelong learning. The second is holistic health. And the third is conscious creation. Inside of holistic health, there are 3 sub-pillars. Physical health, mental health, spiritual health. A lot of this video I talked about was talking about spiritual health. So how I identify spiritual health is how in alignment you are with the law of one. The law of one is the law of love, the law of oneness, the law of do no harm. So the law of one says that we are all one, and that anything you do to another must come back to you because there is only one of us here. That's the law of karma, right? Anything that you do must come back to you, right? And so the law of one basically says that all suffering comes from misalignment with the law of one, the law of love. Jesus taught this. Jesus taught the law of one in the Gospels. He taught, when he was asked what the greatest commandment of all was, Jesus said this very simple. He said, love God, love your neighbor. Very simple. Love your God, love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said, love your enemy. Jesus said, forgive 70 times 7. Hell, Jesus even he forgave his damn killers while they were pinning his ass to the cross. It's like, bro, how more embodied in love and oneness could you be that you can recognize the divinity, you can recognize the truth behind somebody and not see them or judge them for the actions that the egoic nature is taking, but you can see the God that lies truly behind them. You don't recognize the distortion in their actions, but you see the purity of their truest essence. Jesus recognized that in every single one of us, and that is why he's just such highly revealed. You know what I mean? That's why he was the greatest mystic, the greatest metaphysical teacher to ever live, because he was so embodied in the realization of God consciousness. Jesus was so embodied in the law of love, the law of oneness, the law of do no harm, the law of allowing. Love is allowing. Love enables free will. And so I want you to think about this. If anything imposes upon free will, it is not love. It is control. Simple. Love allows. Love is allowing a free will. And love does no harm. It does not impose. It will not force you to do anything. And so anybody that's saying, oh man, this is for your highest benefit, it might be. But it might not be. You know what I mean? A lot of people say that they're doing things out of love when it's really just control. It's just ego. And so we have to be able to recognize, are we living in alignment with the positive polarity, the side, the path of that which is, right? The path of that is aligned with what the Creator truly is, with what God truly is, love, infiniteness, abundance, unity. Or am I aligned with the path of that which is not? The illusion, separation, darkness, fear, judgment, duality, things of this nature. Service to self is the negative polarity. And I don't mean like doing things for yourself. You have to take care of yourself. That's very important. I mean doing things for yourself that harms others, right? It's like, earlier I was talking about like the zero-sum game of giving. If you take something from somebody else so you can benefit, that is the negative polarity. That is service to self. Hit up. But if you can have this if you have this more how do I say this? Yeah, service to others, there you go. But if you can have this felt experience of giving and feeling like both of you are winning through this exchange, that is the embodiment of service to others. Okay, there you go. So that's the positive and negative polarity. So basically that's just living in alignment with the law of one. And that, in my opinion, is spiritual health. Coolio. Alright, vlog number 18. Vlog number 18 is titled, It Didn't Happen to You, It Happened for You. And this was a big one basically talking about mental transmutation and shifting your perception, changing the narrative. So there's this study that talks about how in people with PTSD, right? So there's PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but there's also post-traumatic stress growth. And so the difference between PTSD, right, the people who remain like traumatized and the people who actually grow from their hard experiences is actually just one very simple thing. It's the narrative that they tell themselves. It's their perception of the story. And so if you believe that something victimized you, if life, something happened to you, if someone did something to you, and you feel like, I'm, this is like, woe is me, I'm this victim mentality, you're gonna stay trapped in that forever. Because the thing is, it's like, everything that comes to you, that has come to you in your life, can be transmuted from pain to purpose, from struggle to service, from wound to wisdom. That is the art of mental alchemy. Everything lies, like I mentioned earlier in the Kabbalion. All things, all poles are identical in nature but different in degree. And so you can go from one side to the other simply with a shift in perception. If you change your perspective, if you see that, actually, man, I'll say this. Last night, I was, I forgot exactly what I was thinking about. But I was kind of just backtracking my self-improvement, personal development journey, and how I felt like I've made so much progress, and like, oh yeah, this happened because of this happened because of this happened because of this, you know what I mean? It's like I've made all this progress because of like these things that happened previously. And I was like, well, what's the root? What's the origin? And I was like, bro, there's only one. It was her. It was the girl that broke my heart, bro. So I'm not gonna lie. It was like, I think it was like 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. Had some tequila. I was like, yo, let's pour one for her, yo. Because without her, I would not be here right now spitting you this game. I wouldn't have gotten on this personal development journey a year and a half ago. I wouldn't have taken all this action to create so much change that I've created in my life for the past year and a half. I wouldn't be living such a beautiful and fulfilled life if I wasn't in that darkness in the first half of 2023. And then, like back then, in the first few months of it, I was down bad basically all of January through May 2023. May is when I discovered self-improvement. And I was just horrendously down bad. Like, I wasn't going to class, escapism all day, every day. And I didn't know how I was going to get through it. I just didn't know. And I felt like I never would. I thought I'd never get over it. I didn't know how. I thought that she was the one. Obviously not. But I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago. No, it was like 6 months ago, yeah. It was like 5-6 months ago. Which is the first time I was really able to truly detach from this woman. Let's call her Jessica. That's the name I like to give her on this channel. So, like 5-6 months ago, I had this like huge shift in perception. It's like, bro, I wouldn't have made the progress I've made. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without Jessica. And so it's like, yeah, how can I look back on that without anything but gratitude? It's like, I'm grateful for the great times because the great times are great. But I'm also grateful for the ungreat times because those ungreat times taught me great lessons. And so how can I look back with anything but gratitude? You know what I mean? It didn't happen to you. It happened for you, for your highest evolution, for your growth. And when you can adopt this perception, when you can shift your narrative, when you can transmute your trauma, crazy shit starts happening. And I've written an entire chapter about this in my book, Digital Alchemist Blueprint. So, like I said, if that interests you, check it out for free, all right? Vlog number 19. It's titled, Pick the Decade You're Going to Sacrifice. This was 5 lessons from 3 entrepreneurs. So I was at Panera the other day, and I was there, and I was about to dip out. I heard some guys talking business. Like, I heard them using some business lingo. And so I just went up to them, had the glasses on, and I was recording, and I was like, hey, I'm a young guy. I don't want to, bother you guys, but I'm a young guy. I heard you guys talking business, so I just wanted to ask if you had any advice for, maybe your 20-year-old self. So I basically got 5 lessons from those guys. I won't drop all 5 of them because that'd be annoying, but I'll drop my favorite one from it, which was pick the decade you're going to sacrifice. Because the thing is, it's not optional to sacrifice a decade. And I really love this mentality. This was from Johnson. He was the guy who told me this. And Johnson retired, semi-retired at 32. I don't know how old he is now, but he semi-retired at 32 because from 16 to 26, he just like put his head down, grinded. He saved like a lot of money, and that was able to propel him having like a little nugget that he could invest and he could start making moves with. And then 6 years later, 32, he was semi-retired. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he sacrificed the decade, 16, 26. But you know what? He's never going to sacrifice another one. And the thing is, most people never sacrifice the earlier decades. They don't sacrifice their 20s or their 30s or their 40s. And instead, they sacrifice their 50s or their 60s or their 70s. They live with the uncomfort of not having, enough money. They live with the pain of, not having the physique that they want to. They live with the crushed dreams of never pursuing the things that they want to pursue. Most people sacrifice their 60s, their 70s, their 80s. Most people sacrifice their later years because they're just not willing to sacrifice a decade earlier. Like, for real. And so, like, I recently made a video. Actually, I mean, the next video I'll talk about that. But vlog number 20 is called Fuck Hustle Culture. It's why I work hard, play hard, and rest hard every day. I agree. Yes, you should. You should absolutely work hard. Absolutely. You need to rest and play, though. Right? And so, like, I'm an advocate for working hard, for grinding, for getting after it. But that doesn't mean that you don't get to enjoy life while you're doing that. Right? Sacrificing doesn't mean you don't get to enjoy life. Sacrificing just means that some things are going to not be here because that's what the nature of sacrifice is. Sacrifice means to cut off something of a lower nature to have a higher nature. And so it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give up some of these lower things, these distractions like social media, like my addictions, like, the friends that are holding me back. And I'm going to start creating more. I'm going to start learning more. I'm going to start lifting more, training more, learning more, whatever it is. You sacrifice the things that don't actually matter. You get rid of the things that don't actually matter so you can have more of the things that do. And so when you think about it, it's not actually sacrifice. It's like, wait, aren't you just up in that situation? Yes. However, there's a period of discomfort. And that's where the struggle is. Vlog number 20 is called Fuck Hustle Culture. Why I work hard, play hard, and rest hard every day. So there's a post by Dan he made on YouTube community, and it said, I always try to quote this, and it's like, I should probably memorize this because I quote it so much. That's funny. Alright, let me find this real quick. Let me find this too. I don't know what I'm doing. Dang it, where's this thing at, bro? I pushed it on my Substack. I know that. Let's see. Notes. Dang, bro. What the flip? Oh, okay, there we go. So he said, the ultimate goal is to have a life so beautifully designed that work, rest, and play cease to exist. They all blur together and are indistinguishable. And I love this because I've really had like an embodied experience of this the past couple months. A lot of my work is play. A lot of my rest is play. It's like when I work, like I'm making videos. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired right now. Like I've been like mentally fatigued for like 50 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. It's been tough to record this video, but still getting the work done. But it's like, it's fun. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And that's how it is like for writing as well. It's like, writing is not easy all the time. Writing is tough. Writing is a struggle most of the time. But, I'm here for that. I'm here for that struggle. But it feels fun, right? I'm sharing my ideas. I'm synthesizing. I'm telling stories. Or I'm really in love with the process. And so, like, for me, when it comes to writing, recording, editing, a lot of that feels like play. Does all of it? Nah. Definitely not. But a lot of it does. And so, like, my work feels like play. And my rest, I look at, like, walking as rest. I look at learning as rest. I look at learning as play. I look at walking as play. I look at being outside as play and rest. I look at massages as rest. Training, honestly, kind of really, work, like, creating and training really blur the lines between work and play. But yeah, man, it's like, if you feel like your work is play, and you feel like when you rest, you're still playing. It's like, hold up, so you're just always playing? Like, that's sick. You know what I mean? It's like when you were a kid, you loved life. Why? Because you were always playing. A lot of ancient wisdom traditions say that enlightenment is truly just reaching a second innocence. Actually, hold up. Let me read you something from the Gospel of Thomas. Let me find it. Okay. So this is saying 22. Jesus observed some nursing infants. He said to his disciples, "These suckling infants resemble those who enter the Father's realm." They inquired, "Will we then enter the Father's realm as infants?" Jesus responded, "When you merge the two into one, when you align the inner with the outer with the inner, the upper with the lower, and when you merge the male and the female into a singular entity, so that the male is no longer exclusively male, and that the female is no longer solely female. When you exchange an eye for an eye, a hand for a hand, a foot for a foot, an image for an image, then you shall enter the realm." And I mean, literally, that entire last part is basically just Jesus teaching the mirror principle. And so Jesus is kind of showing, he's like, when you can see the mirror, you can understand the mirror, you see the beauty of it. And when you can understand the mirror, you understand the purity and the innocence behind all of life. And that's what children see. Children are more tapped in than most of us because they're so innocent. Because they haven't really developed the ego. They haven't been misaligned with their truest nature. Right? They haven't really developed that programming that gets them into this more dualistic or animalistic or materialistic perspective. And so, that last part, Jesus was kind of just rambling about the mirror principle. But he said, "These suckling infants resemble those who enter the Father's realm." It's because these suckling infants embody the purity and innocence of oneness. And so, I believe that you should be playing every day. Now, don't be a degenerate. Like, I don't play video games. Well, not every day. I'm most likely gonna play Lego Batman today. No cap. Super hyped about that. But it's like you should be enjoying life every day. Like me for like dancing, music and dancing. That's another way I play. I love dancing. Oh my god, I love dancing. I don't know what that was, but it's like laughter, story, playtime, creating, social. It's like these things that most of us just don't have. We need them because that playtime is so crucial. Like genuinely, bro, genuinely. Fuck hustle culture. You need to work hard, but you also need to rest hard and play hard. All are important. All right. Final one, vlog number 21. The 3 blocks stopping your unlimited creativity from flowing. So I kid you not, my SD card just ran out of storage, so had to delete a little 15-minute video. I actually recorded a talking head segment that I might have used, but then I realized that the audio, I didn't even have the mic plugged in, so I was just like, oh yeah, I can just delete this. Perfect. The 3 blocks. Physical blocks, mental blocks, spiritual blocks. Physical blocks are that of the body, mental blocks of the mind, spiritual blocks of the spirit. And as we go up, physical blocks are the surface level friction, mental blocks are deeper, spiritual blocks are the deepest dams that stop our flow. Okay? And so, in order to become a consistent creator, you need to really unblock your spiritual blocks. Because physical and mental blocks, those things are temporary. Those things come up and you can just fix those things with some sleep, with conversation, some rest, with whatever, With some emotional processing and some rest, you can really figure you can basically fix any physical or mental block, or by just pushing through mentally with some willpower. Spiritual blocks, on the other hand, are much harder to tackle. And these are things like artist abuse, living in duality, separation, judgment, not feeling like you can be yourself, on feeling unworthy, right? Having this like poor self-image, limited belief in yourself, having like BS programming, whatever. These things will stop you from creating because you can't express yourself. If you can't express, you can't create. And so, in order to unblock your unlimited creativity, you need to, in order to tap into your unlimited creativity, you need to remove the spiritual blocks. How do you do this? Forgiveness. Letting go. Forgiving yourself for the things that you've done. Forgiving others for the things they've done to you. Transmuting, having a different perspective. Shifting your perception. How do you do those things? Well, there are 3 vehicles, there are 3 actions, there are 3 practices that have helped me that you can do. You don't have to do all 3 of them. You could just pick one. You could try all 3 of them, see which one resonates with you. 1 is unplugged walks. 2 is meditation. 3 is journaling. So unplugged walks and meditation are, they like basically allow you to just start contemplating. They allow you to go within yourself, and they allow for like the mind to calm and for you to actively start connecting with a deeper part of yourself. You know what I mean? And so, when you're on unplugged walks or doing meditation, you're kind of in like this like contemplative state where you're considering things, where you're shifting perception, where you're expanding your awareness, where you're asking yourself questions, you're introspecting. That's all great. Journaling is basically the same exact way, except it's on paper. You're just writing instead of thinking. And journaling, in my opinion, is actually better for getting to like the root of things, because you can get way deeper, like with pen and paper. Like thoughts have to like stay in your head, but if you put thoughts on paper and you make them like more physical, then you don't have to hold the thought in your head. You know what I mean? And so that allows you to kind of like, it's almost like digging. Imagine you're trying to dig a hole, and you're digging this hole, but the dirt keeps falling back in. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that wouldn't be a very efficient way to dig a hole. You'd want the dirt to not fall back into the hole. And so it's like when you're, I lost where the analogy was going. I got it. So basically, if you're like doing the contemplation, like the processing purely in your head, like your thoughts have the ability to like almost seep back into the hole. You see what I'm saying? But if they're right out and you journal them out, it's like they don't have an opportunity to come back into your head because they're already gone. Like you made them physical, and so you can completely detach from them because there's no worry about missing this thought, or like this thing has to come back to me. Like you're not holding on to anything because it's already out there. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, I feel like journaling is actually a great way to like go deeper and to find roots to pull out. But meditation and walks are just a lot less frictionless, or at least walking. Like walking is the least frictionless. Meditation is, in my opinion, the most friction. I think journaling is a great middle ground. I think journaling is probably the best method I'd recommend to start. But walking, it'd be walking or journaling. Whichever one really resonates with more of you. Both are awesome. But both of those things or any of those 3 things will help you emotionally process. It'll help you go within. It'll help you introspect. It'll help you expand your awareness. And that will allow you to figure out where these roots in your blocks are, so you can tackle those roots. You can get to those. And then after the block comes out, whoosh, the flow comes. And that's exactly how the kid has been able to make over 300 videos the past 7 months. Over 80 newsletters the past 7 months. So yeah. Or probably close to 300 YouTube videos the past 7 months. Yeah. That was long. Yeah, guys, so here's your action step prompt. It's going to be a very quick one, simple one. Basically, whichever lesson resonated deeper with you, I want you to just go and watch that episode of Road to Renaissance and then do the actual action step prompt from there. Okay? Alright, I'm done rambling. If you guys are interested in working one-to-one with me, I'd love to help you if you're a spiritually inclined, mostly creative, or polymath who wants to improve your mental health and increase your productivity in 90 days. My Digital Renaissance Academy program is the place for you. So if that's you, top link description, alright? Do it today. You better for it tomorrow. Stay blessed. Stay loved. Catch y'all. That boy was a rat. My blood getting fatter because all of my ops get rolled in the pack. Really dug in the dark. Cause I got to watch it from race. Oh my god. Hold up. She be fucking me, say she ain't scared. That's my baby, I got you her. We be all with that actually verbs. Can't even fucking she don't get my dick on it. This shit ain't for me. Ain't taking it there. If a nigga wanna jump, show him how me, I cap a lot. Yeah, I cap a lot. Heisenberg? Let that max down. With a max round, nigga. You know I never show that. Where the hoes at? I thought I'm proper respect, nigga. Hold that. Why do you see, bitch?